She say she want hood nigga. I keep the perk by the pound. The trunk stay bumped and y'all know we run the town. Hood nigga. And I keep a bad bitch around. Thick bitch, long hair, yellow, white, red, brown. Hood nigga. And my Chevy sitting on 24s. Flats look like flapjack. Pancake, you ain't no hood nigga. I'ma play the game how it go. They can take me out the hood, but I'ma keep it hood, folks. I'm on that good and alcohol. I got some down bitches I can't call. What's that? I don't know what I'ma do without y'all. I'ma fall till the day I fall. Yeah, long as my bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as my bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as these bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as these bitches love me. I'm on that. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this super fly, dirt, coast, muddy water. Shorty, pop that pussy if you wanna. Let me tell you about this old school Pauline, candy yams and collard greens, pocket full of stones, riding clean.
Well, I'm just one parlay away from a new house, new car. I'm just one parlay away. Trust I'ma take us far. I'm just one parlay away. One parlay away. One parlay away. Oh, I took the Chiefs on over. Took my homes on yards. Everything is going good so far. Lakers beating the Knicks. Spread is only 6. 2 minutes left in the game, baby. I'm about to hit. Ow!
I need out, yeah, I need out. Blood pressure higher than a body count. Tomorrow she has to go. She's a mama. I think I married a hoe. Married a hoe. I said, mama, I think I married a hoe. I made a mistake, mama. No, oh no. I want you. A man can't do nothing for you. All these hoes ain't loyal. All these hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. 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 These hoes ain't loyal. When a rich brother wants you and your man can't do nothing for you. All these hoes ain't loyal. Ain't loyal. Whoa, these hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. 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 These hoes ain't loyal.
don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.
I'm trying to tell you that intro be getting me every time, y'all. It get me every time. But welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Let's Talk with J. Rich Jordan. Man, look, let me get that creme in here. We doing creme tonight. We're gonna do a little creme, man. We want to make it somber and nice and smooth and everything, man. Make everything work, man. But welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk with J. Rich Jordan, man. I am your host. Let's Talk with JVJ. Man, look, we trying to grow around here. I say it all the time. But I need y'all to do your boy a favor, man. Y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, turn the notifications on. Make sure you click all, because we trying to grow around here. Whether you watching on the JVJ Network on YouTube, Let's Talk with JVJ on YouTube, or Let's Talk with JVJ on Facebook. Man, make sure y'all do that for your boy. We trying to get it up around here. Tonight, we're going to have a very interesting one, y'all. Tariq Rasheed sat down with the great Jessie Lee Peterson, coon, ass motherfucker, and they had a conversation. And I wanted to cover it, and it's gonna branch into a larger argument, a larger conversation about some serious things, especially in my community, that we need to talk about. Because we need to have, I think it's time for a lot of Black people to have a come to Jesus moment, especially in this climate that we're living in America. And a lot of other people in other communities need to have a come to Jesus moment too. And this conversation might help branch that, might help make that possible. But man, look, I appreciate everybody that's tuned in so far. Shout out to Skibbity. Skibbity left me 1,000 fucking comments. Shout out to Skibbity. He was the first here. I gotta give him a shout out. He said first. Shout out to Skibbity, bro. I don't know who Skibbity is. They saying, look, you are number one. You are number one. I will give you that. Look, y'all, we gonna get into this conversation. We gonna rock it out. Look, I'm gonna drop the link for y'all if anybody want to come up and get their opinion on this conversation. But we gonna get into it a little bit first. As usual, get your cigarettes, get your weed, whatever you need. Cause we gonna rock out. And shout out to Jessie, because I'm covering your content, Jessie. I'm covering your shit. Don't copyright strike my shit, nigga. But either way, though, let's go, y'all.
Oh, I gotta ask you, you're the starter of the train?
Yes, I created the train.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've been hearing about this train thing for a while, and I think one of my staff members found it and showed it to me. That's an excellent idea.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that, and why?
I would just see a lot of people, whenever Black topics come up, there are a lot of the white supremacists are very good at deflecting, so they would usually get Black people to do the white supremacist rhetoric for them so that the white supremacists could not be called racist. So that's what I call the train. Black people who will jump in front of white supremacists and protect them by spewing out a bunch of white supremacist talking points like, what about Black on Black crime? Well, all white people are not bad. All white people are not racist. Black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. So that's what the train is, basically a bunch of Black people who are put in front of the masses by the white supremacists to regurgitate white supremacist talking points so that the white supremacists won't be labeled as racist.
So if I hear you correctly, a coon is a Black person, right? No. See, certain words have different definitions based on who's saying it. When a Black person calls somebody a coon, it's based on an action. That's a verb. The white supremacists, all Black people are to the white supremacists. So it's a noun to the white supremacists. But when a Black person says it, it's talking about an action that a person is taking. So cooning is a verb. And are there white?
Well, you don't have white people who go off code too much because of somebody who's really jumping in front of people who are trying to sabotage their race and protecting the people who are trying to sabotage their particular race. So you very rarely have white people who do that with the white community. You understand what I'm saying? There was a video that came out recently of a guy who called himself a redneck, and he's a white gentleman, and he was calling out white supremacy, which is very rare, but it was a very good thing that he did that. And a lot of people criticized him within the dominant white society. So white people are criticized for speaking against systematic white supremacy, just like a lot of Black people are criticized for speaking out against what some would consider.
So a coon is
a black person who jump on black and white issues, and they seem to be supporting the white folks.
It's basically a black person who's trying to get brownie points, or who's paid, or who's just trying to get a pat on the head from the dominant white society by throwing other black people under the bus. That's the working definition of what a coon is when it comes from the black community.
And
I want y'all to see something. Let me come up a little bit on this one. Jessie, he always plays slow and dumb when it comes to things. The dude lived in the state that I lived in. He's brought up in the state that I was brought up in for a little while. He knows what a coon is. He knows what they are. But he's sitting here trying to play dumb while Tariq is trying to explain it to him. And I guess he's trying to wait to try to see if he can get something that he can use against him and try to make him look bad. But the one good thing is Tariq is a pretty smart individual, and I don't think he's going to get caught up in his words. But it's very interesting to see Jessie try to play dumb. He knows what a coon is because he knows he's one. I'm sorry, y'all tell you, but Jessie won. Jessie a coon. Like, let that boy be cooning like a mother. You tap that for boss. What you want me to do, boss? I'll tap dance all day for you. Them niggas trying to run away. Look, that's how Jessie is. Jessie would be the house nigga that'll snitch. But he know exactly what Tariq is talking about. And I don't understand why he playing dumb. But watch, y'all just keep watching it, man. This shit's funny, man. This is hilarious.
And most of the times, the coon is disagreeing with most black Americans on certain issues.
But the agreeing with most white supremacists, though. So the is not doing anything that's particularly radical or outside of the box. The is basically regurgitating centuries-old talking points that the white supremacists have put out there, like black people don't have no morals, black people don't have no family values. Those are old white supremacist taglines that they've used to subjugate black people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, when black people start saying that, that's basically a form of, because they're just trying to get brownie points from the white supremacists.
The black people who are quote unquote, do they attack the blacks who are not in the same manner that the blacks attack the cooners?
I don't understand. What's the
Let's
question?
say that the blacks who are disagreeing with black Americans who say that black people need to do this and do that to get better. Do those blacks attack other blacks in the same manner that they are being attacked?
Yeah, well, the thing is, there's a difference between attacking and criticizing, because I criticize a lot of stuff that goes on in the black community, but I don't do it for the entertainment or the betterment or the enjoyment of the dominant white society. I do it because I want the black community to be better. A lot of times black people will get in front of white people and say, hey, look at those blacks over there, they need to do better. So basically they're just trying to get brownie points, and they're not even speaking constructively to try to really help the black community. They're just trying to get that pat on the head from the dominant white society.
So
again,
that's one of them, y'all. You want to see your face again? That's another coon right there.
Again!
Took your ass back to Sudan, motherfucker. Either way, though, let's keep going.
I'm on your train.
Yes, you are. You were on the first one. You were getting it in on the first one, too. Yes.
And the thing I like about being on there, you really have me dancing really well.
You were getting it in.
And the last time I've been able to dance that good was in my 20s.
Oh, there you go.
So I do appreciate that. I say that most black Americans, not all, but most, are suffering due to the lack of moral character and not white racism, in that the family is destroyed. Black men are not there for the most part married to the black woman, and they are raising their children in the right way to go.
Okay, now can we unpack that?
Yeah.
The thing is, and it's trying to say that the family breakup is the reason why there's so much degradation going on in the black community. And the so-called family breakup only happened in the 1960s, really right after 1964. Before 1964, the majority of black families were together.
Right.
And you still had to deal with white supremacy. back going to the 1950s, the 1940s, the 1920s, the early 1900s, there was a still disproportionate high crime rate. Black people were still funneled in what's called ghettos, especially during the first Great Migration when Black people moved to the northern cities. They were living in the ghetto area, so to speak, because the white people moved out of those areas because of segregation. So Black people, even when the family is together, we still have to deal with white supremacy. And unfortunately, brothers such as yourself, you guys just totally ignore the factor of white supremacy and just try to blame it on something that happened later on down the line, which the whole family breakup was because of systematic white supremacy as well.
I grew up in, you probably know this already, but for those who might not be aware of it, I grew up down in Alabama. We were just talking about during the break, you lived there for a while in Birmingham.
Yep.
But I grew up in Alabama, and I grew up under the Jim Crow laws.
Absolutely.
I remember for colors only, signs for whites only. Went to a movie theater once down in Eufaula.
Look, I want y'all to see something, because this is just hilarious to me. When I hear people like Jessie saying what he says, I'm taking my screen for a second because I want to show y'all something. Talking about Black people lack moral character, okay? Moral character. I'm gonna show you some FBI data real quick, like just real quick, and then we can get back to the video. But we lack moral character. That's Jessie's words right there. Moral character, right? This is FBI data right here. Y'all don't believe me? Quick facts: sexual abuse offenders. Yeah, United States of America. All right. See this shit? This is as of fiscal year 2021 right here, y'all. Fiscal year 2021. It say offenders and offense characteristics. 93.6% of SA offenders were men, right? 57.5 were white. 16.1% were Black. 12.1% were Native American, 11.8% was Hispanic, and the other 2.5% were other races. 74.6% of offenders in cases involving production of child pee were white. But we talking about Black people lack a moral compass? I'm just saying, man, like, I think you got to have a moral compass that did not touch kids, but Black people lack a moral compass, right, Jesse? Let's get back to the video.
All of Alabama. And Blacks had to sit in the balcony because we were not allowed to sit with white Americans. But the thing that we had going for ourselves as Black folks during those days is that the family was together. Husband and wives were together. They taught their children how to respect themselves and others. I'm
just gonna go ahead and say this ahead of time.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Matter of fact, let me give you one more too, because he about to go down the road that I already know where he gonna go down. Same old talking points.
For fuck's sake, not that again.
All right, go ahead, continue, Jesse. Go ahead. We know where you're going with this.
Work hard. They save their money. They have businesses. Even during those days, many Black people owned land.
Absolutely.
And all those things. And it wasn't until the Civil Rights Movement started and under Lyndon B. Johnson that the government came in and offered Black people welfare. We're going to take care of you. You're not able to do it yourself.
But why did Black people have to take welfare?
Yeah, I'm going to answer that in a minute. And so, but they said you cannot have a father in the home.
Absolutely.
And they did that because they understood that if you remove the father from the family, there is no spiritual head or protection or provider for the women and children, and that they will, for the most part, have to end up on welfare, being on the government. And that's when the breakdown started. But when the family was together, you didn't have crime in the Black community such as we see today. You didn't have out of wedlock birth such as we see it today. And
we didn't have out of wedlock birth, but we did. The crime rate was still disproportionately high. See, that's something that a lot of people overlook.
No, you're making a good point.
Right, because you had all black chain gangs going all the way back to the 1920s. So the black crime rate was higher. Why was it higher? Not because of the family breakup. More things were illegal for black people to do. If black people, there's a drinking fountain sign right here I'm looking at. If we drank out of a water fountain, that was illegal. If we looked out of a window, that was illegal.
But black people did better because those type of situations forced blacks to stick together as a family unit to have
But
faith
even though we stuck together, we were still criminalized, weren't we?
Yeah, it was rough in that, the laws were against us, but because the family unit, that order of God was there, God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, woman over children, the family did better as far as economically than they are today because their father was there. Now up north,
but how can you? But in the system of white supremacy, doing better, we need to eradicate the system of white supremacy. Like Malcolm X said, "Don't stick a knife in my back 9 inches, pull it out 6 inches, and say that's progress." Well, the knife is still in our back, sir.
Well, Malcolm X did say that when he had anger against the white man, he joined the Nation of Islam. But once he
wouldn't have anger over Jim Crow at the time?
I know, but let me make the point.
Right.
Once he went over to Mecca, he realized that there are all people who are working together and some are not, right? And he realized that the white man wasn't his enemy, so he dropped that anger. He came back and he started to expose the Nation of Islam founder, and the name will not come to me right now, as cheated with these women in his religious organization.
Just like JFK did with Marilyn Monroe and all those people too, which people like to leave out.
But according to Malcolm X, his life was threatened, and according to his book, he was taken out by the Nation of Islam. My point is, up north, you're right, when blacks moved from the south to the north, they did move into those projects.
No. When they moved to the north, they were put into the project. They didn't move into it. They were put into the project by the government.
But why did the black man allow that to happen?
We're under military control. We've been outgunned. It's not that you allowed it to happen. You are outgunned in this country. We're subjects of white supremacy. We've been militarily defeated. So you can say, I'm not going to allow this to happen. But when the U.S. they pull out the tanks and the guns on you, what are you going to do?
So are you saying that blacks, when they moved from the south, were forced into into those projects by the military?
Yes, absolutely.
The military,
the government, which is backed by the military.
I noticed that my parents...
Tulsa, Oklahoma is a great example, by the way. Tulsa was a very prosperous area where black people were millionaires, black people were doing great, and the white supremacists came and just tore the community down. The government flew in planes and actually bombed the place. So the government is definitely part of that. The subjugation of African people whenever we have progress. And also whenever there were prosperous areas in the black communities, they would just build freeways right through these areas, just especially out here in Los Angeles. They built freeways through the Central Avenue district, which was a prosperous African-American district.
My parents moved to East Chicago and Gary, Indiana. My uncles and aunt moved up there from Alabama. And none of them moved into the project. They all had their own homes. They all were working. My mother had 9 kids, and she stayed home throughout the whole time of raising them.
When was this?
This was, let me see, I left in 68. So this was during the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
And not...
I want y'all to see what Jessie is trying to do right here. And I get tired of a lot of people doing that. It's a straw man argument. Just because one person did this, or one family did this, you attribute it. And it's the same brainwashing that we've had where, like, look, let the one black person go out here and commit a crime. And you notice that majority of white society will say, look what the black people did. Look what the black people did based off of one black person. Jessie is trying to attribute my family did this. So why can't all the other black families do the same thing? Well, why ain't all white people rich? Why aren't all white people in the trailer park? Why aren't all white people touching kids? Because it's a straw man argument. It's individuals. You look at a number across the board and see what the masses do. You can't just attribute one incident to everybody, one instance to everybody. Like you can't generalize off of one. But his argument is going to be, because my family did this, all these other black families could have did it too. And it's like, dude, everybody doesn't have the same circumstances. You might have been in a good part of Alabama. Your parents might have been educated. They might have actually got the nice races around them instead of the ones that want to hang you from a goddamn tree. You ever thought about that, Jesse? Like, it's crazy to me that people attribute one instance to a whole group of people. Stop doing that. We got to stop doing it, y'all. We have to. It's so easy to do because we've been taught to do this, but we have to stop doing it. It's not productive. It's not helpful to anything in society. It's just to demonize and stereotype groups of people. That's all it is. Like, we don't attribute every white person don't got good credit. You know that, right? But that's what a lot of folks in the black community say. Yeah, he white, he got good credit. Not necessarily. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? I got better credit than a lot of white folks.
My relatives lived in the project. They all bought homes. They worked at the steel mill, Inland Steel, and other places. They did not end up in the project because my father and my stepfather and my uncles and aunts would not allow that to happen. Why did the black man, you saying the military forced the rest of them into the
government, which is backed by the military? I'm talking about the government, the U.S. government. For example, after World War II in the 1950s, the government specifically gave VA loans and FHA loans to white people and denied black people systematically of those loans. And this created so-called white flight, which was government backed. So white people were allowed to move into the so-called suburb areas. And these leasing agreements were specifically stating that black people couldn't move.
I've never heard that the military made them do that. But let me ask
you. See, you see how Jessie just wants to gloss over that? Because that is true. The GI Bill was not, like, somebody that was in the military, y'all, whoop-de-whoop, in the military. The GI Bill, if I was born during that time, during the 1950s and 1960s, I wouldn't have been allowed to even take advantage of my GI Bill and go to school. FHH loans. I wouldn't have been allowed to get a better loan with better interest to move my family somewhere. Black people were excluded from these things. And Jessie's just going to gloss over that like that's nothing. So these are handouts to white people that served in the military, while black people that served in the military were not allowed to get. But, you know, fuck you talking about, man? You're just making excuses and complaining. Like, dude, it's amazing to me. And this is during the same time where they were redlining, during the same time that they were giving the Homestead Act. Well, actually, that happened beforehand time, where they were giving white people free land. Just go out here, homestead this land, it'll be yours. You ain't got to pay for it or nothing like that. Just go out there and homestead it, it's yours. When they moved all the Native Americans out the way. All these different handouts that have been given to white folks, and Jessie's just going to just disregard this like it's nothing. Black people were not allowed to even benefit from the system that they were participating in, while white people were. And you want to sit here and talk about why the black family this and all that shit when the government was actually a major part of breaking up the black family. Literally had an initiative to break up the black family. But Jessie just gonna sit here and talk about why won't black people just pick themselves up by the bootstraps. Hey, I don't know no group of white folks in this country that ever went through anything black people in this country went through, and you don't never tell them to pick themselves up by the bootstraps. But the people that you put through some of the worst shit in this country, in the history of this country, you tell them, man, just pick yourself up, man. Stop complaining. Hey, bitch, let me do it to you. We got people crashing out right now, and they had nothing done to them.
No, it's militarily backed, sir. That's
no, because of time. Are the blacks who make it on their own, they think for themselves, is it hard to believe that black people...
That's your definition, by the way. Your definition.
Is it hard to believe that there are black people who can think and do for themselves and see what's wrong and express it without being a cool?
But how do you think for yourself when you're regurgitating white supremacist talking points?
So I'm asking first, is it a black person who thinks and do for themselves, or
no?
Is it possible for black people to do that without being a coon?
You can think for yourself, but regurgitating white supremacists, because you're regurgitating white supremacist talking points and you're not thinking for yourself, you're becoming a puppet for white supremacy.
Give me an example of thinking for quote unquote white supremacists.
Well, we're regurgitating white supremacist talking points.
Like
again,
what,
the whole
example?
Family structure, that's a white supremacist talking point.
Okay, let's deal with that. Hold up. Let's deal with that one thing.
Let's deal.
You asked him and let him answer.
With that.
Is the family structure broken in a bad way in the black community?
It's broken nationwide.
In the black community, right?
In the black community, it is broken.
Man, look, the family structure is broken across America, period, in every ethnicity group. 70% of marriages end in divorce. That means the mother and the father are not together. The fuck are you talking about? We want the black community, and I promise you, man, it's very profitable to talk down on the black community. It's very profitable, y'all, to talk down on the black community because there are a lot of racist people in America that want to hear that. They want to hear how bad the blacks are because for some reason that makes them feel better. Majority of folks are growing up in a single family household, single parent household. Most kids. Because a lot of women are leaving relationships, whether it's for abuse or they just stupid or whatever the hell. Money. Most of these kids are growing up in a single family household. In every fucking race in this country. But we only keep talking about the black family. The black family. If y'all slowly listen more and more and more, you'll catch on to the bullshit. It's like, dude, this is and that's why Tariq said it's a universal problem when it comes to the United States. But the only one that we want to put a fucking microscope on is the black community. There are more white women leaving their husbands than it is black women leaving their husbands. You know why? Because more white women getting married. Her family already broke the fuck up. It's like, come on, man. You're doing exactly what Tariq is describing. You're pushing out white supremacist talking points, and you wonder why somebody call you a coon. Like, dude, the same shit that you talking about us applies to everybody else. And honestly, in a lot of situations, more. But you ain't talking about them. You talking about us because you can make money from these motherfuckers. And that's all it is. You cooning.
Right.
Since 1964.
And so why is it coonery to say that?
Because it's coonery to say that that's the only problem, and it's not racism.
No,
because that's what you said.
You
did say
it's the number one problem.
But you said it wasn't racism. You said it wasn't white racism. It's the black family structure. Right. But the problem with the black family structure is because of white racism. And also, when the black family was together, we still had to deal with white racism. So why don't you? My question is, why don't you ever criticize white supremacy? In your eyes, can white people do any wrong?
And I'll answer that, but I want to ask this. I will answer that.
Yeah, you keep deflecting, brother.
Yes, whites can do wrong,
but
my focus is to wake up black Americans to rebuild the family, to get away from the government, to start, as we did prior to the civil rights movement, doing for themselves.
Brother, what's that?
Nigga a coon, bruh. Swear, oh Lord, boy. Like, look, man, he asked you a specific question, man. That motherfucker put the butt in there real quick.
Wrong. But my focus is to wake up black Americans to rebuild the family, to get away from the government, to start, as we did prior to the civil rights movement, doing for themselves.
But we still have to deal with white supremacy. We can do that, but after we do that, what are we going to do about white supremacy?
What is the best way to deal with quote-unquote white supremacy?
Black empowerment.
And what is black empowerment?
Economic empowerment. That's one thing.
Right, to build family, build character, build your own business.
Build your own economics. Exactly.
Right.
And we have to understand that the white supremacists, they've always sabotaged that in the black community. So that's something that we can't ignore. We can't just say, well, it's just the family we need to build up. When we build up the family, what are we going to do about the white supremacists out here? No. Trayvon Martin didn't get shot because of a family structure.
I want to just ask
Walter Scott didn't get shot because of a bad family structure. Jordan Davis didn't get shot because of a bad family structure. We're dealing with a system of white supremacy.
Oh, that's a good point you're making. Mm-hmm. Had Trayvon Martin parents, Michael Brown parents been married?
They were married, but they got divorced and he was staying with his dad.
Had they stayed together and had they raised their children in a good way to respect themselves and others, and
I'm getting mad now.
And
so you saying Trayvon Martin got shot because he didn't respect himself?
My question is,
I'm mad now, and this is why I say this motherfucker is a coon. He said if Trayvon Martin and family, like his mom and his dad, stayed together and they were married, that he would have respected himself and possibly the situation wouldn't have happened. We just had a kid that shot Charlie Kirk in the fucking neck. Came from a good Christian, Mormon religion family, conservative family. Mother and father still there. What the fuck did that change? Most of these school shooters and mass shooters that we've been seeing lately, majority white people, they come from a 2-parent household. What the fuck you talking about? What is Jessie talking about? And this is why you call him a coon, because that is a white supremacist talking point when it comes to talking down on black people. Oh, well, the mother and the father are not together. While ignoring that the federal government of the United States of America took an interest in breaking up the black family household. While ignoring that the white people did this to try to break our families up, using it as, look, we did it to you. Now we gonna make fun of you because what you're doing after. But even our kids are doing worse shit than your kids, but we're not gonna talk about our kids. We're gonna keep talking about yours. Man, hold up, where Bernie at?
That ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right.
That's the craziest shit in the world. Shout out to Alexis and shout out to Miss Alyssa. I see y'all up in here. Like, how the hell you gonna do that? You gonna talk about the black kids don't go and shoot up schools and grocery stores and churches and movie theaters and things of that sort. They don't do that. When a black person got a problem with another black person, yeah, they'll go shoot that black person. And yes, some people might get hit, and it's wrong. But motherfucker, when a white kid get mad about something coming from a 2-parent household, they just go shoot up every fucking body. And we've been seeing it so much lately. It keeps constantly happening. But we don't talk about their family structure. I think that's more of a threat to society than a black kid going and shooting another black kid. But we don't talk about this white violence, because it ain't just white on white violence. It's white on everybody fucking violence. When a black person do some shit, it's black on black violence. Well, black on who the fuck that nigga is that pissed me the fuck off violence. Like, we don't talk about that shit. Like, Jessie, you wonder why people call you a coon, because in the grand scheme of what's going on in society, you're focusing on fuck it. I'm just gonna let him keep talking because I ain't got time for it. Miss Alyssa, I appreciate that, man. Because like everybody can see this shit, man. It's crazy. Like, damn, look, y'all kids are going and murdering everybody. But you talking about a black kid having a problem with another black kid going and shooting that black kid? Yes, it shouldn't happen. But what about this motherfucker? He shot the whole school up. It ain't got nothing to do with no family fucking structure, man. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Because if that's the case, black kids be shooting up schools too. They be shooting up movie theaters. They be shooting up fucking shopping malls. They don't do that. They don't do that. We don't do that. That's crazy, man. Wonder why he called a coon.
Would
you ignored that?
Let's do Michael Brown first.
Oh no. Okay, let's go back to Trayvon.
Would Trayvon have been smoking pot, calling himself a thug?
Did that get him shot? Was that why George Zimmerman killed him? Smoking pot should not get you killed.
Had they had a strong family and a good father they respected.
He had a father, sir. He was staying with his father.
No, he was staying with different people.
He was staying with his father. He was at his father's house.
But my question is,
you deflected.
No, my question is, had they had good.
The boy got shot on the way to his father's house. He walked from his father's house to the grocery store to get him some drink and some Skittles. And he was walking back to his daddy's house. I don't know what the hell Jessie talking about, but we got my soul sister up in here, Miss Alexis from Texas. She got that thing blown out. Look at that hair. That shit so long and shit. Look at her. Ooh. What's up, girl?
It done shrunk a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Shrinking is real, but yeah. Hey, what's up? Everything black in Texas, of course. Look, and I told you I was gonna wear the shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Got that brother coming up in a second. Man, give me your thoughts real quick, like on what this coon ass nigga talking about right now. Cause I don't know what the fuck, man.
I mean, Jessie is doing what Jessie does, but my homie over there, Tariq, he is cooking, and it is a master class on how to deal with it. There's only certain there's a lot of interviews. No, I ain't gonna say a lot. Well, yeah, there's a lot of interviews where you see him talking to people and they get, you know what I'm saying, flustered, and he does certain stuff like that. Even you can see the way he's talking to him that he's trying to get him flustered and say little, you know, to point out something in him. Mm-hmm. But it's a few where they really like masterfully, like, you know what I'm saying, on Jessie ass, and he is doing such a great job. The only other guy that I saw that's did it like almost well did it I could because I ain't seen all of this yet, but when oh boy, and I think your man's had covered this some years ago. The pastor, and he got a church in Delaware too. And he always yelling and stuff, and he got that deep raspy voice. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name right now, but
yeah. And he got a low cut and all that.
Yeah.
But also he got this, and he's such different. Like when he preaches, he's like really. But then when he talk and do interviews, he's very like, you know what I'm saying? His voice changes. He talks like real smooth when he's talking. But he did an interview with Jessie Peterson and walked it. You know what I'm saying? Walked it. But yeah, Tariq, he over here. I wouldn't doubt it that Jessie get off that motherfucker. When he got off, he threw his headset down. I told you to get me a black one that I can really. Y'all not getting me the right black folks.
This is dumber than me. Why y'all invite this smart ass nigga in here?
Yeah, y'all know I'm slow.
He probably mad. He said they set him up.
Yeah.
Y'all set me up for this
look,
shit.
Look, y'all set me up, but you're white, so I love you at the same time. So I want to thank you for setting me up.
The motherfucker, he a funny ass motherfucker. You right about that. Mr. Listen said Jessie funny as hell. He is. He a funny motherfucker. Yeah. He really funny, especially because he do all this cooning for these folks that don't give a fuck about him. No. And it put money in your pocket, bro. But I'm like, it's like what they say, the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna turn my back on my community because maybe one or two people probably piss me off, and then also these people over here offer me fucking money. I done had people offer me money to talk shit about black folks. I ain't doing that shit for them. Like, if I see a problem, I'll call it out, but I'm not finna fucking just go out and make myself a whole campaign runner for talking down on the blacks. That's crazy.
Crazier than damn road is it?
Let's see, let's say right, bro, reminds me of whites and blackface. Yeah, these motherfuckers. Like, you would think you're a white person talking right now, white racists in Alabama. But
because he called Trump the Great White Hope.
Yeah, he said that shit for months. And matter of fact, he said that shit for years. I ain't even gonna bullshit. He said that shit for years. I'm like, nigga, you tripping, bro. But yeah, look, the review gonna get right, girl. Don't look at the computer like it's crazy. Either way, though, let's think. I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm gonna keep playing it a little bit, y'all. Let's see what else we got in here, because he dodging Tariq's question. Like, Tariq asked him to answer that, and he don't want to answer that shit.
Fathers and mothers guided them who stayed together, raised their children.
Had he not been shot by a suspected white supremacist, he would be alive. Had he not been shot by a suspected white supremacist,
I'm trying to ask about the coonery thing.
Okay.
Had the family been tighter and stayed together, raised their children, would Trayvon Martin and others been different types of people?
Well, no matter what type of person he was, he shouldn't have been killed. A kid shouldn't have been killed
answer
by
that question only.
No,
about character.
Your character has nothing to do with you getting shot by some psychopath.
I'm asking, would they have been young men of character?
Your character has nothing to do with you getting killed by a psychopath.
Well, that's put aside. Would they have been men of character? Because you're saying that we are
coonery. That's like asking me if the people in Germany, if they just would have pulled their pants up, would they not have been slaughtered in the Holocaust?
Why won't you answer that question?
Because it's a question that literally makes no sense. It makes zero sense.
It's fucking stupid. He's trying to put you into a corner, and Tariq's smart enough to know not to answer no stupid shit like that. Because his rebuttal was perfect thing. Okay, well, the Jews in Germany during the Holocaust, maybe if they just would have talked better. Maybe they would have dressed better. Maybe this wouldn't have happened to this. What kind of fucking dumb shit is that to say?
The dumbest.
But you want him to answer that shit. Like, y'all really think about that. And I'm glad he went to that actual example, because you would never say that about those people.
Oh, nah.
That's crazy as fuck, man. That's he broke. Look. Mr. Lissa said, yes, I think it's funny when he says the blacks, laughing out loud. Yeah, he be saying the blacks as if he ain't black or something. I did an interview. I covered it when matter of fact, did I cover it on here? I know I watched it. But he interviewed DC Youngfly. And DC Youngfly called it out. It's like, nigga, why you keep saying the blacks? Like, nigga, you know you black. Like, he was cracking this motherfucker. He was cracking the shit out of Jessie. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But, man, bro, it's crazy for him to ask him that question, man. That's just trying to put somebody into a corner to try to prove a point. And this is why Tariq is a smart dude. I actually still support what he talked about. He was smart enough to know, like, nah, bro, I'm not answering that question. How about I hit you with this one and see if you gonna answer that? Because this is a good comparison of it. Like, dude, why don't the blacks do this and the blacks do that? Like, bitch, well, okay, then why ain't the Jews do something? The so-called Jewish people over there. Why didn't they do something different? Maybe if they just would have did this, then maybe that wouldn't have happened to them. Like, it has nothing to do with our behavior for what the fuck has been going on in this country. It has to do with the behavior of the motherfucker that's doing it. That's all that is. Like, do black people have they shit they got to work on to get better at? Hell yeah, we all do it. Every community does.
Everybody. Everybody.
You're not gonna sit over here and say our situations because our own hand when the historical evidence of what the fuck has been done to us. It ain't our fault for where we at in the grand scheme of things. Do we all need to try to do better and get ourselves out of it? Hell yes. But we ain't in this position because of us. This is the doing of another folk. This is the doing of another folk. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. Africa in the condition it's in right now because of doing of other folk. Like, nigga, the fuck you talking about? This shit crazy. And shout out to Marcus. I see you up in the building, man. He say, hello, my good people on the panel. And he said Tariq's the GOAT. And he's also said all facts. Let's keep going, man. Like, this is crazy. He tried to get that man. I'm playing it again. He tried to get that man caught up in that shit, dude. That was a trick question. And Tariq ain't stupid. He was trying, man. Little dumbass trying.
Your little dumbass trying.
Getting killed by a psychopath.
Well, that's put aside. Would they have been men of character? Because you're saying that we're
sir, that's like asking me if the people in Germany, if they just would have pulled their pants up, would they not have been slaughtered in the Holocaust?
Why won't you answer that question?
Because it's a question that literally makes no sense. It makes zero sense.
Let me ask this. You know,
and you know it don't make no sense. It's a deflection, Jesse.
So you don't think having
being messy, Jesse.
You think having a father and a mother together raising you and setting a good example is not a good thing?
I didn't say that. You keep trying to. It's a great thing.
Okay, let me ask this.
But what about white supremacy?
I don't deal with white supremacists. I don't know what you mean by that because I've seen growing up.
You don't deal with them, but you work for them though. And if you work for them, you might be dealing with them. You an agent for these motherfuckers, boy. Look, this Jessie right here.
Don't let the liberal media tell you how to think and feel. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
That's Jessie right there, y'all. That's Jessie underneath that hood right there, y'all. I wish I had some more Chappelle Show, Clayton Bigsby goddamn clips. I'm gonna get that one. That monkey beat my hood. I'm gonna get that one on here. Y'all. Cause this motherfucker, bruh. Look, every time he say something stupid, that's all I be thinking.
Jesus Christ.
That's all I be on, y'all. That's all I be on. That's all I be running through my mind, bro. That's all I see. Like, what the fuck, boy? Either way, though, let him keep going. Let the coon keep cooning. Coon keep cooning. I'm sorry, ladies.
I have seen growing up with
you know what white supremacy is, brother.
I'm trying to answer the question.
Okay.
When I was growing up, white supremacists was alive and well.
Right.
And yet we did better because we had family, we had fathers and mothers. We were taught to work hard, manage our lives, and we did better then than black folks are doing today.
How so? How did you do better?
Tighter families.
But you would get lynched at the drop of a hat.
No,
brother. You would get lynching was at an all-time high.
Not at all time.
Say that shit so quick. It's like we're doing better than the family structure. You're like, yeah, but you get lynched at the drop of a hat, nigga. It's like, what are you talking about? Hey, my family's together, but I can get killed on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nigga, what are you talking about? Like what? Like
you said at the drop of the hat, nigga, you ain't even gotta have a hat on. All you gotta do is breathe. Just breathe, man. God damn. You gotta choose. Do I want to breathe and die or not breathe and die? Look at that. Like, what?
That shit crazy, man. That shit was so fucking funny how fast he came back with that. I want to hear it again.
But that's not today. But I want to ask you. You couldn't go. You were suffocated. You couldn't go to certain places. To ask, also, how did you do better?
Tighter family.
But you would get lynched at the drop of a hat.
No,
you would get lynching was at an all-time high.
Not at all
yes,
time.
It was at
but that's not today.
But
I want to ask you.
You couldn't go. You were suffocated. You couldn't go to certain.
I need to ask you this because when we come back, we got to take some calls.
Okay.
Do you love do people who attack black conservatives? Do they're called coons and niggers and Uncle Toms and sellout? Do you love the?
Do I love the? Well, I don't. What kind of questions are they? Do I love?
Yes.
For what? Why would I love a coon?
Is that a yes or no?
I don't love no coon.
You don't. You hate the.
I don't hate them. I don't love them. I want the coons to get away because.
About the coons at all?
I do not. I don't really care about.
But why not?
Because have always sabotaged black progress.
But suppose
we could have been out of antebellum slavery because we're still in a form of slavery. White supremacy is slavery within itself. But the first stage of slavery, which was antebellum slavery, we could have got out of it long ago if it weren't for the telling and snitching and being comfortable in that position.
But suppose they don't know that they're wrong. Why not show them love so that you can correct them?
So I got to hug a.
Look. I don't like that talking point, and I've been hearing a lot of people say that as of late. What if they don't know that they're wrong? Bitch, we all got a moral compass. You know, treating and talking down on a group of people is wrong. Everybody knows it. You know why? Because as soon as you get done talking about them and they say something back, you get offended when they talk about another group that you're trying to protect. We all know it's wrong. We all know it's wrong. But people do it in spite of, Jessie. You doing it in spite of, Jessie. Like, what are you saying? Like, what are we talking about right now, nigga? Like, are you serious? That's what he should have asked him. Just like, are you serious, nigga? Let me rewind that part back. That's crazy, bro.
White supremacy is slavery within itself, but the first stage of slavery, which was antebellum slavery,
Oh my bad, I ain't go back far enough.
And they're called coons and niggers and Uncle Toms and sellout. Do you love the?
Do I love the? Well, I don't. What kind of questions are they? Do I love?
Yes.
For what? Why would I love a coon?
Is that a yes or no?
I don't love no coon.
You don't. You hate the.
I don't hate them. I don't love them. I want the coons to get away because.
About the coons at all?
I do not. I don't really care about.
But why not?
Because have always sabotaged black progress.
But suppose
we could have been out of antebellum slavery because we're still in a form of slavery. White supremacy is slavery within itself. But the first stage of slavery, which was antebellum slavery, we could have got out of it long ago if it weren't for the telling and snitching and being comfortable in that position.
But suppose they don't know that they're wrong.
Y'all know how many slave revolts didn't happen because you had coon ass niggas snitching? Niggas could have been out of slavery a long time ago. But the niggas snitching. Look at Trey little ass running like a little gremlin back there. I see this little ass. Oh, big head ass little boy. I'm sorry. Let's keep going, y'all. I ain't gonna focus on his big forehead. But either way, though, yeah. I'm gonna say nice stuff right now because he probably can hear me. But yeah, Jessie would have been he would have been that person that would have been snitching on the black folks during that time, man. He would have been telling. Because he's doing the bidding of a group of people that really couldn't give two fucks about him. Like, be honest with you. And a lot of y'all folks that be cooning, Black Man Unfiltered, y'all cooning ass niggas over there. Y'all, it's not going to benefit you. Now, you might make some money and shit, but them folks don't like you, bro. And the sad part, it ain't making you no money. Y'all ain't growing shit over there. But either way, though, let's keep going.
Why not show them love so that you can correct them?
So I got to hug a...
You're a pastor. You're a preacher.
I am, but I'm not
Should
trying
you
to
show love. Well, we're not talking about hugging and kissing.
Jesus rebuked the demons, and that's the demons, and I'm rebuking the demon and the spirit.
But you don't love. Do you love the?
I don't love the.
You don't love the.
No,
but Jesus loved the.
No, but Jesus ran people out of the temple.
He said coons are evil. And they are. They're very dangerous and they evil.
When Back in a moment. Amazing. And
look, man, that was an interview with goddamn Tariq with Jessie, man. Look, I know it went a little bit longer. I just didn't have it. Do y'all want to see it? Because I was going to go to something else, but I think he got it on here. Hold up. Let me and Alexis come full screen. I can look for it in the background. But, look, Jessie is a funny motherfucker. And look, I really, that's how I feel about it. I don't really have no anger or energy for this motherfucker in that sense. I really be looking at him like, bro, that's just sad. He a funny ass motherfucker, bro. Like, that is crazy that you have these thoughts and you say this about your own people. You say this about your own people, bro. And it's like, why? Why? Like, it's really that deep, huh? Like, whatever, like, did a black person pick on you when you was growing up or something? Like, what? I want to know what it is. Alexis, I'll be truly wondering sometimes, like, what is it to make a motherfucker think like that? Do they think they not black or something? You got to answer that for me.
It's opportunity. It's opportunity. I almost have I have empathy, because if you're in a situation and you're being, and it's always in your face about what's better, like, going back to Brown versus the Board of Education, when they put the black doll and the white doll in front of the kids, they automatically chose the white doll because white is right, black is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been conditioned and trained and whooped, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's my empathy on that.
Yeah. That shit, look, man, this shit wild. I just don't. Look, I really, when I be thinking about Jessie, bro, I be having to laugh sometimes. Like, I just take a deep breath and just start laughing. Like, man, that's a stupid ass nigga right there, bro. Like, it's so obvious what you're doing and how you feel. Like there's no, you can't sugarcoat this and hide this on. I'm trying to help the black community. That ain't help, nigga. That ain't help.
It's hindering.
That is it. Like, you stabbing me, talking about I'm helping you, bruh. Just let me keep helping you, bruh. Like,
but to go back what the brother Rasheed said, he was like, Malcolm X said it. You can't put the 9-inch knife in me and then take it out 3 inches and say that's progress.
But that's some deep ass shit. Because the knife's still in my back.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Charlie Kirk, because I saw somebody say something about it. D.L. Hughley got approached, y'all. I don't know if y'all know. He got approached on the street about his comments on Charlie Kirk. And I want to show that real quick, like, because I think he handled that really well. I don't know why the fuck this motherfucker walked up in his face and asked him this shit. But the dude handled it straight. He handled it straight. And I'm not a big D.L. Hughley fan. Like, I know him. I know of them, but it's like that's how I just feel about it. But either way, though, check this out real quick. Like,
so I got a question for you. If you could clear things up, people online are saying they're not happy with what you said about Charlie Kirk, that he's a horrible human being after his assassination. What, you do believe that?
I was clear.
But when the country's calling for civility after what happened,
let's be clear. The country isn't calling for civility. The very leader of this country today was mocking the president, a former president, for having cancer, and telling him not to feel bad. So the leadership of this country is not calling for civility. I have said very plainly, I do not think that young man should have lost his life. That doesn't negate the horrible things that he said that hurt people that look like me. So I'm unequivocal. I've been clear about what I said. I certainly do not think that man should have lost his life for what he said. But I thought that what he said was important. And I think that anybody that pretends like you can't tell me you heard what he didn't hear what he said, but you heard what Jimmy Kimmel said. That's unreasonable. And you can't tell me that we're calling for civility. One time has this president called for civility at all? No. At all. Not even the olive branch. He said today, I'm supposed to be better than I know.
What did you think of the Democrats who voted against that resolution?
See, I just walked past that question. He walked past it after DL hit him back. It's like, look, you talking about you mad at me, or people mad online because I called this guy a horrible person and talking about civility. And I'm like, nigga, look at the people that you talking about. They ain't say nothing about this motherfucker. Like, oh, so you mad at me because I said this motherfucker was a horrible person because he said bad things about black people. You mad at me I'm like what kind of dumb fucking question is that? Like, who gives a fuck if they mad? Like, honestly, who gives a fuck? Y'all man, why you talking to black people? Black people ain't got nothing to do with the nigga being gone. Ain't got a goddamn thing to do with he being wrong, but you just all up in our goddamn face, asking him questions. That's the only reason he even spoke on the first time. Somebody asking him a goddamn question about the shit. And then like, nigga, he wasn't a good dude. Like Jessie said, he didn't have no morals. He had no morals, man. You gotta have that morals, man.
You don't get to live as a villain and die as a hero.
And that's what they try. And look, like I like that shit because that's exactly what they trying to do with him. They still trying to do it. They trying to just whitewash history. Like this motherfucker was a saint. He was a political advocate what was he advocating for? That's what I want to know. Tell me that. But anyway, don't let DL keep going, man. That was a stupid ass question to ask that man, man. Man, dude, I believe he was a horrible human being. Okay, whatever the fuck. And say what else you got?
The House to honor Charlie Kirk. Do you think it's okay just to honor the fact that he debated the other side and was open to? I mean, even Van.
You want somebody to honor a racist? That's crazy.
Jones said he invited him on his show.
Let's not bring Van Jones into a conversation. That's probably the wrong messenger to speak to me about. I think that, and I'll be clear, I think every man has the right to express himself. I think the things that he said, I don't believe that just because a pilot is black, he's unqualified. I don't believe that women don't possess the brain power to be intelligent enough to not have set aside to be responsible for their job. I don't believe that black people are responsible for most of the violence in this country. I don't believe that.
Charlie Kirk said that? I mean, yes. I don't think he said that.
See, look at this shit right here. Somebody, hold on. Where he at?
Yeah, this shit crazy, bro. This shit wild. You saw that shit, man?
All these goddamn Charlie Kirk defenders don't even know what the fuck Charlie Kirk said. Y'all getting mad. Look, first off, they didn't know what he said. And the second thing they've been doing, because I talked to you about it, Alexis, they always bring in this new argument now, because they're all good at deflecting. Well, you're taking it out of context. Bitch, you didn't even know he said it.
How you gonna tell me I'm taking it out of context? How you gonna tell me I'm taking something out of context that you didn't even know about? So how you even know the context if you didn't even know it? How do you know the context? You didn't even know it.
It'd be the craziest shit in the world to me. And I'll be like, man, all these goddamn Charlie Kirk goddamn defenders. Yes, bro. He said all that shit. He said that them 3 black women, Ketanji Brown Jackson, Jackson Brown, whatever her fucking name is, Supreme Court lady, fucking Michelle Obama, and somebody else, another black woman, talking about how they was stupid. They ain't got no fucking brain intelligence, mental intelligence to do whatever the fuck. And I'm like, bitch, they went to Ivy League schools. Your bitch ass dropped out of fucking goddamn community college in the first semester. It already wouldn't have been bad if you dropped out of community college, period. You ain't even making this semester. Oh, stupid, wide ass, watermelon head ass motherfucker. Like, bitch, please stop talking about black folks and you wonder why black people feel the way they feel about this shit. It's like he said all this evil ass shit about black folks. If I see a black pilot, boy, I hope he's qualified. Why wouldn't he be? Did he say that about the white pilot? The Asian pilot? Like, do you say it about any other pilots outside of black? Because I only ever heard you say the shit about black people. But you mad at DL Hughley because he said he was a horrible human being. I'm not fucking saying shit like that against black people. And you want us to say like what? Wait, what you want us to cry with this niggas? We took all them shots and didn't fire a one. Didn't fire a one. His own people fired one on his ass. Like, don't like, it's stupid that you even walked up to DL Hughley trying to ask him a question about this shit. And I'm not the DL Hughley fan base motherfucker, but I'm like, damn, like, bro, like, really? You mad at this nigga because this nigga said he was a horrible human being? You don't even know what this nigga said. He said Charlie said that. Yes, motherfucker.
He said that.
Yes.
He said that.
Stuttering ass.
Charlie Kirk said that? I mean,
Yes.
I don't think he.
Charlie Kirk said it. I don't really think it. Shut your stupid ass up.
Yes.
He said that he talked about gun violence, but he hasn't blamed it all on the black community.
He said let's be clear. He said it's gang murders, right?
There's a lot of gangs. There's Latin gangs.
Well, here's the thing. Respectfully, I am not one of those people who tends to say things that mean. I don't say things black. I know, and you know, that Charlie Kirk said problematic things, and if he wasn't, you wouldn't get fired for posting the things he said.
Oh, I gotta ask this: you're the
And look, my bad, y'all, because it went to the next video. It'll just be bleeding over here. I don't be quick on it. I wasn't paying attention. But no, you're right about that. If you posted what he said, just post his quotes, you wouldn't lose your job. If everything you say about this guy is so great. If I quoted that motherfucker verbatim, word for word, and posted that shit, you shouldn't get fired, right? Because he was such a great guy. Motherfuckers done lost their jobs for retweeting that motherfucker shit. He was not a good person, man. He went into the world and pushed hate. Yeah, he had a wife. Yeah, he had kids. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Because they don't give a fuck when we have wives and kids, mothers and daughters. So, like, my bad, go ahead.
Do we forget that he got shot? Motherfuckers ain't give a fuck about his wife. He getting them motherfuckers ain't never. And even though it was by that group that he used to be with, motherfuckers ain't never gave a fuck.
That's what they say. That's what they say. They put it on the Nation of Islam. They did it. But I'm wondering who was funding that shit.
Hey, but it could have been. Hey, yeah, it could have been some. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm like, look, he was a threat to a lot of motherfuckers. And
but even then, hold on. JFK was in the car with his wife. He got like this motherfucker got
talking about doing something for them niggas. You gotta go.
Abraham Lincoln was at the opera with.
Why am I doing something for them niggas? You gotta go.
Fuck.
Hey, look, hey, they talking about Obama didn't do nothing for the blacks. You wonder why, motherfucker. Look, we already had 2 situations. We didn't see that. Like, look, black folks, smart black people. Look, we watch what happens to other people, and then we move accordingly, bro. We ain't no crash out.
Low key. Even though they white, that nigga dead. That nigga dead.
Yep.
That nigga dead.
But if they do it to them, nigga, what you think they gonna do to me?
Yeah,
but we got Uncanny Chacho beaming in the building. What's the word on the bird with all that goddamn background noise?
My bad. I was driving.
Hey, that one that they like, that ninja that they like so much, he had wife and kids. Matter of fact, they were sending tapes of his infidelity to his wife. Don't say nothing about a wife.
Don't say nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Go ahead, Uncanny. My bad.
Nah, you're good. I just came up just to say that. Why are they trying to antagonize D.L. Hughley for the master debater?
That's the question of the night. Well, it's one of the questions of the night because it makes absolutely no damn sense.
And I heard y'all talking about Malcolm X.
Yeah, I'm about to show him right now and show one of his interviews he did. Speaking on shit like this.
There's another story where they assassinated another black leader back in the day. His name was Fred Hammond.
Mm-hmm.
Are they ever going to talk about that one?
Nope. They gonna act like that shit didn't happen. Alexa, you on mute.
Low key, I got a Black Panther shirt too. I was gonna wear that one. I was like, nah. I said I was gonna wear Malcolm, so I'm gonna wear Malcolm.
I said I was gonna wear my rap shirt because it's just colorful. I don't fuck with rap. I don't fuck with the rappers. I just like the shirt.
can I say this? Rest in peace to Asada Shakur. I bet you they making fun of Asada Shakur as we speak, but she was innocent, I believe. That's just my personal take.
Cuba? The one that died out there in
Yeah.
Cuba? 78
Yeah,
or
she
something
was
like that? Yeah.
She was a Black Panther. And
Yeah, I remember her.
shout out to the Black Panther 9, I believe it was them. That's Tupac mom, Afeni Shakur. She beat those tribes, that tribe. Defended herself.
Shot that cop and got off.
And Bobby Seale and all the other Black Panthers that were falsely accused. But that's it. That's all I got to say. I just wanted to come up and shout that out.
Just want to come up here and just say this talk. Just want to come up here and talk. You got a car seat in the back seat? Uncanny, is that a car seat back there?
No.
Oh, you ain't got no car seat back there? I thought I seen the car
No, I ain't got no baby. No, I ain't got no baby. What? No, my baby's 13.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got a young lady. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Light skin like my mother.
Oh, shit. Fucking
Well, her mother's not like that.
Nah, you good. You good. Man, I'm tripping. Fucking yeah, I'm about to show a little bit of this this Malcolm X interview, man, because it pertains to what's going on. Like, we already had Jessie up there cooning, and people act like they don't know what cooning is. Well, guess what? That's what cooning is. That stupid ass shit Jessie did. And then when it came to the Charlie Kirk shit, it's like, man, like, why you in DL Hughley face with that fucking stupid ass question, man? Like, damn, why don't you go talk to some white folks about that shit? Cause that seems to be their problem. Why black folks gotta get brought into this? That ain't got nothing to do with it. Go ask the Asian person then, motherfucker. How about that? You ain't ask no Asian person. Every time it's a problem in this country, we want to see what the blacks got to say. That's so they can tell us what the fuck it is. And then still we demonize it and keep on doing what we doing. Because that's what it is. Black folk been telling y'all how to move, how y'all need to be moving.
By the way, the person that Alexis said that got assassinated, he was settled by the FBI, but that was in 90. What was it, like 93? They admitted it.
Yeah, I think it might have been 93. I think it might have been 93.
But yeah, I'll let y'all go. My fault.
Hey man, do your thing, man.
Just want to say rest in peace, my fault. I just want to say rest in peace to Asada Shakur.
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to her. And look,
bye, Alexis.
Alexis, say bye to Uncanny. Alexis, say bye to Uncanny.
No.
Try to get it. Either way, though, man, let's get to this Malcolm interview, y'all. I ain't gonna show all of it because I got something else I want to show behind it because it's gonna be the final thought for the show. But check this out, man.
Today, in our discussion of minority groups, we have with us two guests. One is Minister Malcolm X. Shabazz, one of the top leaders of the Nation of Islam, or the so-called Black Muslims. And we also have Mr. Herman Blake, one of the teaching assistants in the course. We will discuss today some of the goals and some of the strategies of the Nation of Islam. And I wonder if Mr. Blake might start it off by asking Mr. Shabazz a question.
Minister Malcolm, the thing that I thought might be good for starting it off is to talk about one of the most pervasive beliefs in the general society about the Nation of Islam, and that is that it is an organization dedicated to the use of violent means to attain its goals. The question I have is, how true is this, and why do you think it persists in society?
Well, the Muslims who have accepted the religion.
Man, I want y'all to hear that stupid ass question that he asked him. I want y'all to hear it again one more time, just so y'all understand the response that this man is about to give him. Because you got to look. We talking about cooning tonight, right? A little cooning. You got a coon ass nigga that's right here in front of him asking him a stupid ass question. I want y'all to hear this, and I want y'all to see how he responds to this coon ass question. It's crazy. He just accused him in the group that he represents, that he's a part of at this time, of being violent while living in the country. They enslaved his people that still got segregation going on right now. They still hanging niggas right now while he's saying this shit to this nigga. I want y'all to see his response to this, because this is a masterclass of Jesus Christ. Like, damn, cooning back in the 60s, bruh. 1963 to be exact. This is crazy.
By asking Mr. Shabazz a question.
Minister Malcolm, the thing that I thought might be good for starting it off is to talk about one of the most pervasive beliefs in the general society about the Nation of Islam, and that is that it is an organization dedicated to the use of violent means to attain its goals. The question I have is, how true is this, and why do you think it persists in society?
Well, the Muslims who have accepted the religion of Islam and follow the religious guidance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad have never bombed any churches, have never murdered any little girls, as was done in Birmingham, have never lynched anybody, have never at any time been guilty of initiating any aggressive acts of violence during the entire 33 years or more that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has been teaching us. The charge of violence against us actually stems from the guilt complex that exists in the conscious and subconscious minds of most white people in this country. They know.
Right, just hit him in the face with it. Ain't did none of them things, but you calling us violent. And he could have went even deeper during that time, because World War II had just happened. He could have hit him even deeper. He's being nice, and he being calm. Like I wouldn't be that calm.
That they've been violent in their brutality against Negroes, and they feel that someday the Negro is going to wake up and try and do unto them as they have done unto the whites as the whites have done unto us. We aren't a violent group. We are taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to obey the law, to respect everyone who respects us. We're taught to display courtesy, to be polite, but we're also taught that at any time anyone in any way inflicts or seeks to inflict violence upon us, we are within our religious rights to retaliate in self-defense to the maximum degree of our ability. We never initiate any violence upon anyone, but if anyone attacks us, we reserve the right to defend ourselves. So to accuse us of being violent.
Somebody tell me what's wrong with that. Because ain't that the law of self-defense in America right now? Don't we got that on the books? If you're attacked, you should have the ability and the right to defend yourself to the maximum capability that you have. Now they done change the law and say what a reasonable person would do. But what's a reasonable person in a fucked up situation?
It's reasonable force.
Yeah.
You are to attack back with reasonable, or it's something like greater than or lesser than, some type of shit, how they break it down. But
and the sad part, I actually need to get that one day so I can make sure I say that shit correctly next time. Yeah. Look, what he's talking about is what we have on the books, and like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Like, in all honesty, what's wrong with what he said? Everybody should be able to defend themselves, especially if they attack. Ain't nobody talking about going out and harming nobody. He ain't talking about going out and harming nobody.
It's like accusing a man who is being lynched, who is being hung on a tree, simply because he struggles vigorously against his lyncher. The victim is accused of violence, but the lyncher is never accused of violence. And I only point this out because the various...
And look, he talking about what actually is happening in America right now. We've seen it. Trayvon Martin got popped. They demonized him. George Floyd, we sat there. I don't care what people want to say. They say he was a bad human being and all that. That could be perfectly fucking fine. But what happened that day didn't get him killed because of who he was as a person. That happened because of the evil of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
We sat there and watched that. And they blamed him instead of blaming the cop that we watched sit on his goddamn neck. That's what, like, he was talking about this in 63, y'all, and we still dealing with it today. And you know why we dealing with it today? Because these coon ass niggas out here. He got these coon ass motherfuckers blocking for these racist ass motherfuckers. Like, what are you talking about? You blame, he quoted it out perfectly. He said it perfectly. You blaming the nigga on the tree for him being on the tree. Not the people that put him on the fucking tree. It's crazy. And he was dealing with this, man. No, we ain't changed at all. And that's why I be trying to tell people, like, especially you white folk to be talking about the country doesn't change. It hasn't. It hasn't, man. It just evolved into something else. Yeah, they not publicly lynching nobody on no trees no more.
I mean, they ain't doing it for y'all to see. They ain't doing it for y'all.
Yeah, I remember that was that. I ain't even cover that. It's supposed to be part of one of my other videos, but yeah, they did actually, y'all. You know, they found a kid lynched, hanged up in a goddamn tree and outside some school. I forget what the fuck the story was. I was supposed to cover that shit. Like, and they had like, don't nobody know nothing. Police like, we don't know nothing. We ain't got no information.
And where was this at, Jay? Where was this at?
I'm trying to think. Wait, ain't one of them racist ass states? Well, I'm sorry.
And your cousin, Mississippi.
That shit crazy, bro. That shit is crazy. Mr. Listen said, good old Jessie gonna come right to the rescue. He'll be a good old boy to keep his sorry ass show. Yeah, he will. And I can't even call that too. Like, so a lot of people, y'all done heard about it. I was supposed to cover that shit, Mississippi. But look, he's speaking about shit that's happening still to this day, bro. This is in 63. Well, this is in 60-fucking-3. That's crazy, bro.
Racist groups that are set up in this country by whites and who have actually practiced violence against blacks for 400 years are never associated or identified or made synonymous with the term violence. But whites speak of Muslims almost synonymously with violence. Whenever Muslims are mentioned by them, violence is brought up, but it's not connected with any other group. This is a sort of a propaganda tactic, or what I would call psychological warfare, to in some way make the image of the Muslims in this country be a violent image rather than a religious image.
I'd like to ask a question in that regard. What's interesting is that members of the Nation of Islam.
That's Charlie Kirk dad right there. Look at him, man. That's Charlie Kirk daddy right there, bro. That nigga look just like Charlie Kirk. Look just like Charlie Kirk. Ugly ass.
Have not used violence even when black Americans were attacked. How do you account for this? Does this in any way contradict some of the basic premises of your movement?
I don't know how you mean.
Well, you maintain, for example, that you will not or that you should not use violence unless you are attacked by the white man.
Yeah, let me hear that.
And
let me hear that question again, too, because that didn't make no damn sense.
Make the image of the Muslims in this country be...
Y'all listen to this question again, because it didn't make no sense to me either.
A violent image rather than a religious image.
I'd like to ask a question in that regard. What's interesting is that members of the Nation of Islam have not used violence even when black Americans were attacked. How do you account for this? Does this in any way contradict some of the basic premises of your movement?
I don't know how you mean.
What the fuck? So you just heard this nigga accuse my movement and my group of being violent. Then you come and ask me, well, y'all ain't did nothing, so doesn't that contradict your movement? Like what? Like what are you talking about, Nick? Like what? Matter of fact, I got a clip for this. This shit, man. Look, matter of fact,
That ain't right. It ain't right.
Both y'all motherfuckers sitting up here accusing my movement of being violent, and then you just ask me a question. Well, since y'all ain't been violent, ain't that a contradiction of your movement? It's like, what the fuck are you asking me? Like, that's what I'm about to say. Hey, what do you mean by that? What? So why do he answer this shit? This shit is crazy.
Well, you maintain, for example, that you will not or that you should not use violence unless you are attacked by the white man. And I think we can note in the last several years, certainly, dozens and dozens and dozens of instances in which Negroes have been attacked, killed in some instances.
You mean in these demonstrations?
These demonstrations and the bombings, for example, recently in Birmingham, where they killed 4 little Negro girls. And what interests me is the fact is that the Nation of Islam has not done anything to retaliate.
I think you should be happy.
You welcome. Look at that.
What the?
You will.
This is like, and look, I'm trying to show. I really want to show the deception and the evil that was still being displayed. Like we see it today. This shit been going on for a long time. People keep talking about we in changed, we went somewhere. Where the fuck we went? Oh, we got color TVs now, y'all. We got color TVs and we got cars that can semi-drive themselves. That's where we went. We didn't go nowhere when it came to this bullshit right here. How you gonna sit here and accuse my group of doing something and then fucking be like, why y'all do nothing about that? Why y'all do nothing about that? Motherfucker saying you should be happy. Motherfucker, you should be happy we ain't do nothing about that, nigga. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What kind of question is this, man? And see, Miss Lissa said, I had my ass off. The other black dude started laughing. He walked right into that. Yeah, he did. Look, he covering his face right now. He like, goddamn, like, nigga, you know you got cameras on both sides, your stupid ass. But either way, though, let's let Mr. Malcolm finish this off, man, because he gonna kill this question.
The important thing is, does your lack of action contradict any of your basic principles?
I'll explain it. You should be happy that Muslims who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, number one, don't believe in any form of integration, and believe that every mention of the word integration by whites, whether it be from the mouth of Kennedy on down to the mouth of the lowest, raggediest white liberal in the street who is beatnik-like involving himself in these integration efforts, if we believed in it, we would integrate and we would fight anybody who got in our way.
And I want y'all to hear what he said. He said the liberal, right? That's a Democratic term. We're in the 60s right now. For all y'all people that keep talking about Republicans freed the slaves and all that, and that's why you should still like them, right now, in his time, 1963, who was his enemy? It wasn't the Democrats, but he's calling out the bullshit in the Democratic Party. Any white liberal. Y'all motherfuckers need to stop with that bullshit. Like, look, I tell people all the time. Matter of fact, I think I said to somebody. People always want to sit around here and talk about the Republicans free the slaves and all that woo shit. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm not no goddamn Republican. I don't fuck with none of them because I know they all evil. But the motherfucker that seemed to be waving the Confederate flag, you know, the side that wanted to keep slavery going, happens to possibly be in the Republican Party, man. I'm like, I don't see no goddamn Democrats waving no flag that was used to keep people in fucking slavery. So it's kind of ironic that that group of people that are waving that flag want to tell me that Republicans freed the fucking slaves.
Not them Republicans.
I just don't understand how that works. Y'all freed the slaves, but y'all waving the flag that was supposed to keep the slaves in slavery? Make that make sense for your boy. Please, somebody help me out. Somebody help me out with that one. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let Mr. Malcolm finish what he had to say. I'm sorry I interrupted him.
Or made any effort whatsoever to stop us from integrating. If we really believed that the law of the land, the Supreme Court, and other so-called judicial bodies were for real when they talked about integration, we would integrate. And knowing that the law was on our side. And any effort we made to demonstrate toward integration, why, we would know the law should be on our side. If it's the law of the land. If it is the law of the land, then the demonstrators are within the law. And the discriminators are against the law. But to show you the hypocrisy of the law, when Negroes demonstrate for integration, instead of arresting the discriminators, the law arrests the demonstrators. So this is a foolish move on the part of Negroes. And when you foolishly get yourself involved with an enemy, then whatever comes upon you, that's your business. As Muslims, we believe.
And look, he's being honest because he's like, I can relate that shit to what he's saying right now. Black folks was going out there protesting, demonstrating, which was within their right in the Constitution. And they had water hoses and dogs sicked on them. This was happening during that time. And you just translate it to today's time. Do black people really have a right to self-defense? Like, do they? Because I'm like, I'm gonna actually do a funny one because I covered this. Jonathan Majors got into a little scuffle with his girl one night. And we have video footage of Jonathan Majors pushing his girl back into the car. And we also have footage of Jonathan Majors in that weird-ass, gay-ass outfit he was in, running down a New York street while his girl that he tried to put back in the car chased him. He was found guilty. fucking, I don't know how many times black people done tried to defend themselves in a literal life or death situation. We actually got a trial coming up that I'm gonna pay very close attention. That guy, the guy that stabbed that white boy in what you call it, I'm definitely gonna be paying really close attention to this because I know there's video evidence about it, and they've been keeping all this shit sealed up so can't nobody see it. But I'm waiting to see how this shit played out because that might be another case of somebody trying to defend themselves and they throwing the book at them. I thought the law was supposed to protect this. That's what Malcolm's saying back in 63. The law says it states this, but we see what's happening. We see it today too. The law's supposed to say this, but we see so many times that it's fuck the law. You'll have fucking basic fucking, you'll have video footage of the shit. And motherfuckers still be like, fuck the law. Nope. That's what it is. That's what he's speaking on.
I mean, if you turn the camera this way and you angle it at this way and then put the filter on it, yeah, that nigga killed him.
Mm-hmm. That's how that shit be working. And it's crazy. But I'm gonna let them finish out. Y'all.
That separation is the best way and the only sensible way, not integration. And but on the other hand, when we see our people being brutalized by white bigots, white racists, we think that they are foolish to allow themselves to be beaten and brutalized and do nothing whatsoever to protect themselves. They are foolish. They should have the right to defend themselves against any attack made against them by anyone. If a dog is biting a black man, the black man should kill the dog. Whether the dog is a police dog, a hound dog, or any kind of dog. If a dog is sick on a black man, when that black man is doing nothing but trying to take advantage of what the government says is supposed to be his, then that black man should kill that dog or any two-legged dog who sicks the dog on.
Should other black men help that particular person who was attacked?
I think you'll find, sir, that there will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves. Then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. And it is the only thing that will bring an end to it. No federal court, state court, or city court will bring an end to it. It's something that the black man has to bring an end to himself.
Minister Malcolm.
Look, I'll tell you this. Look, we've come a long way when it comes to us as a group, because a lot of people always say black people don't stick together. I call cap on that. We don't stick together in the sense of whatever the white man is referring to when they say that. I don't know what people be talking about when they say black people don't stick together, because I see we had the entire fucking world marching and protesting for George Floyd. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. Motherfuckers don't stick together. When fucked up shit happens to our community, we stick together. Now, people want to talk about the interactions, I guess, in between where we fight and argue with each other, we kill each other. Well, guess what, bitch? That happens in every fucking community. So why the fuck you ain't saying other folks don't stick together?
About y'all worry about y'all thugs. Worry about our thugs. You know what I'm saying? Look, tell your friends to not link with my friends, and possibly we could all be friends. Matter of fact, we might be able to do this every other weekend. Shout out to he who would not be named. But
Voldemort. This shit crazy, man. But look, I want to end y'all out. on one, because I want to give a little brief history, because I know a lot of people don't know these things. And I don't want people to be lying to us about our history and our past and all that woo-woo stuff. So shout out to, actually I got to shout out this channel, Black Stories Untold, because the talking point that Jessie came in with, the mindset, the narrative, it shows you that's a learned behavior. That's a learned mindset. It's been brainwashed and put into you, but it's easier for you to receive it when you don't know about who your people are. When you think you come from nothing, you always believe nothing, and you'll just follow whatever the person that you done seen that showed you everything they done did. You'll follow them because like, yeah, they got the right idea. It's like, yeah, I get it, but it's wrong. I'm gonna show you about yourself. I'm gonna tell a lot of black folks about themselves right now, man. I want y'all to know y'all history, bro. And I want you to understand the history of your own fucking country too. Because I served in the military and I know about a lot of this shit. And that's why I be like, fuck them motherfuckers. I ain't finna do nothing to you, but I don't fuck with you. But either way though, check it out real quick.
It's the American frontier, 1866. White America had just survived a civil war that nearly tore the nation apart. They thought they could control what came next, including 4 million newly freed black people. They were wrong. In July of that same year, something unprecedented happened. Congress authorized the creation of the first peacetime all-black army regiments, 6 regiments of armed, disciplined, federally backed black soldiers. But these weren't just any military units. They were about to become one of the most feared and respected fighting forces in American history. Men who would earn a name that struck terror into the hearts of races across the frontier. The Plains tribes called them Buffalo Soldiers, warriors as fierce and unstoppable as the sacred buffalo. What happened next was so extraordinary that white officers would literally quit their commissions rather than command these men. These regiments were led by men like Charles Young and Henry Flipper, and they would accomplish something that had never been done before, forcing racist America to respect black military excellence. This is the story about soldiers who turned the uniform into a weapon of resistance, a story about black men who became America's first park rangers. In 1866, Congress creates the first peacetime all-black army regiments, the 9th and 10th Cavalry, and the 24th and 25th Infantry. For black men fresh out of slavery, this was like hitting the lottery. Steady pay of $13 a month when most black folks were making pennies. 3 meals a day, a roof over your head, and something white America couldn't stand, respect that came with the uniform. These weren't just jobs. They were paths to dignity in a country that had spent centuries denying black people basic humanity. The Army offered structure, purpose, and most importantly, weapons. Backed by federal authority, for the first time in American history, black men could walk tall, armed, and legally protected. But white America was not having it. White officers literally quit rather than command black troops. Some took demotions just to avoid leading these regiments. George Armstrong Custer, yeah, that Custer, refused to command black soldiers.
Y'all see what he said, like how he titled that? The sabotage begins. Watch the sabotage.
And legally protected. But white America was not having it. White officers literally quit rather than command black troops. Some took demotions just to avoid leading these regiments. George Armstrong Custer, yeah, that Custer, refused to command black soldiers, even though it
That's one of the motherfuckers that they want to keep his name on a base.
Cost him a promotion. The Army responded by sending these black regiments to the absolute worst, most dangerous, most isolated posts they could find. The Wild West frontier, where survival wasn't guaranteed and backup was days away. They got the worst equipment, leftover Civil War gear that was falling apart. Their horses were broken down, their saddles barely fit. Commanding officers wrote angry letters about how these men were being set up to fail with trash equipment. The message was clear. We'll give you this opportunity, but we'll make damn sure you fail at it. These soldiers had a choice. Prove the racists right by failing, or do something that would shake white America to its core. By the way, if you're enjoying the content so far, it would mean the world to me if you were to hit that subscribe button down below. I'm trying to spread these black stories.
And y'all go sub to his channel for real though, man, because I like some of his content, man. You can get some history on a lot of fucking things. And I've actually back checked a lot of his shit. He's shooting. That boy ain't missing right now.
To everyone, and I want each and every one of you to help out. Now, back to the video. Buffalo Soldiers chose excellence as their weapon. Here's a stat that probably made racist heads explode. Buffalo Soldiers had lower desertion rates than white troops, lower court-martial rates too. Despite being treated like dirt, they stayed disciplined.
The motherfuckers didn't run away from their goddamn duty.
I was gonna ask you to make sure you let the people know what that means. It means that them white boys were a little coward. But go ahead.
They ain't run. They didn't run. And the sad part, hey, look, they shouldn't be surprised that the niggas didn't run. Y'all got really good at keeping them staying on the plantation. Hey, nigga didn't run from they job. Like they stood there and did it. Your folk was dipping. Fuck shit. Hey, look, let's be real.
And professional. They earned 18 Medals of Honor, the highest military honor in America, given to black men that society said weren't even fully human. They protected mail routes through hostile territory.
Oh, and please believe that. That was during the time when they were saying black people were only 3/5 a human being. But they achieving all these honors? Okay. Black people, y'all need to pay attention to know what y'all come from. Know where you come from.
When everyone else said it was impossible. They built roads, escorted settlers, and fought off raiders. They did jobs that white regiments failed at or refused to do. Every victory, every mission completed, every life saved was a middle finger to everyone who said black men couldn't be real soldiers. Their excellence wasn't just professional, it was revolutionary. Every time they succeeded where others failed, they destroyed another piece of the racist mythology that justified their oppression. But their success started earning them something even more dangerous than respect. Native American tribes they fought against respected them so much, they gave them the name Buffalo Soldiers. In Plains Indian culture, the buffalo was sacred, powerful, nearly impossible to kill. That name was respect from warriors who knew courage when they saw it. Buffalo Soldiers became America's first park rangers at Yosemite, Sequoia, and what's now Kings Canyon National Park. They built trails, fought wildfires, stopped poachers, and protected the wilderness. They were stewarding America's natural treasures before the National Park Service even existed. Captain Charles Young became the first black superintendent of a national park. So competent that even racist America couldn't deny his abilities. They weren't just soldiers anymore. They were symbols. Proof that black excellence couldn't be contained, couldn't be hidden, couldn't be denied. But that's exactly what made them so dangerous to white supremacy. In 1906, Brownsville, Texas, black soldiers from the 25th Infantry are stationed at Fort Brown. The white townspeople hate having disciplined armed black men nearby. One night, shots are fired in town. One white man is killed, another wounded. Immediately, and I mean immediately, the white townspeople blamed the black soldiers. No investigation, no evidence, no trial. President Theodore Roosevelt, the same guy who supposedly believed in American values, dishonorably discharged 167 black soldiers overnight without
about that. And you got people in America crying right now talking about, look, I got some white folks. I ain't gonna bullshit with y'all, man. I fuck with y'all, but like, look, some of y'all be on some real pussy ass shit. Y'all motherfuckers be crying about some people might possibly lose their job and all this other voodoo shit. Like, bro, they been doing this shit. Yo, people been doing this shit to my folks all the way back in the 1800s. We can literally go back even further, but at least that's where we're at right now. Like, goddamn. Suck it up, buttercup. Suck it up.
And we only glad that at least now when we losing our jobs, we ain't getting lynched with it.
Like, god damn, man. Look, privilege.
Look at the level that we have overcome to where we still ain't even overcome. That's the best part. At least now when we lose it, we ain't getting lynched with it. Goddamn.
I'm trying to tell you, man, privilege is invisible to those who have it. It's crazy. Man, I'm like, all right, either way, though, let's keep going. I'm sorry, that was just crazy right there.
A trial, without evidence, without basic justice. 167 men, some with 20 years of service, some with medals for bravery, all destroyed by presidential racism with the stroke of a pen. The message was crystal clear. It didn't matter how well you served, how bravely you fought, or how loyal you were. In racist America, you were still a black man first, and that made you guilty until proven innocent. If the system would betray even its most loyal servants, black communities had to find new ways to fight back. Enter Charles Young, a man so competent that racist America had to conspire to stop him. Young was only the third black graduate at West Point, and from day one, he was marked as dangerous, not because he was violent, but because he was brilliant. Young served with distinction everywhere they sent him. He was a natural leader, spoke multiple languages, and had a mind for strategy that impressed even his racist colleagues. He advocated for his black troops, fought for better conditions, and refused to bow down to white supremacist expectations. When black soldiers had a problem, they had an advocate. When the military tried to hide their achievements, Young made sure they got recognition. He represented something terrifying to white supremacy. A black man who couldn't be intimidated, couldn't be bought, and couldn't be ignored. But when World War I started, Young was about to cross a line that white America would never allow. Charles Young was in line to become the highest-ranking black officer in American history, potentially commanding white troops. And white America lost its absolute mind. They forced him into retirement under fake medical claims, said he had high blood pressure and couldn't serve. You know what Young did? He rode his horse 500 miles from Ohio to Washington, D.C. to prove he was physically fit. 500 miles on horse.
500 motherfucking miles in his 50s.
On a horse. On a horse.
On a motherfucking horse.
And not a Mustang. Oh.
That shit, man. Look, man, y'all need to know about y'all past, man, and know who you come from, bro. Like, for real. You are something. You can be something. Don't let the motherfucker tell y'all we just living in mud huts and shit, because that's what the fuck they be telling y'all. I heard it. I think we all done heard it. Just mud huts, building a house out of shit and shit. Like, really? Nah.
Horseback at age 55, just to call out their obvious lie. This wasn't about his health. This was about making sure no black man ever got too much power in the American military. Young had become too competent, too respected, too dangerous to white supremacy. They would rather weaken their own military than let a black man command white soldiers. Young's dream.
In that part right there. Because we got a lot of people out here that do that shit. Y'all know why we don't have universal health care? Because white people didn't want black people to get it. Like, I'm just being honest with you. I'm not talking about what's currently going on right now when it pertains to that subject. I'm talking about at the very inception of it. When the first idea came up and it was about to get pushed, the only reason that we don't have that shit is because white people didn't want black people to get it. Cutting off your nose to spite your face. They would weaken their own military. Take this great mind, this great strategist, this great military service member out the game and make him retire because you didn't want him to achieve a certain rank. You cutting off your nose to spite your fucking face, bitch. And this country been doing it. I forget how much they said. I forget how many billions or trillions they said they lose. They lost off of just practicing racism in this country. I forget how much they said it is, but it's funny. But either way, though, y'all look. Just watch.
Dramatic protest became something bigger than one man's career. Young's 500-mile horseback ride became a symbol of resistance that echoed across Black America. The Black press covered it extensively. The NAACP rallied support. Black communities across the country saw what was happening. If they could do this to Charles Young, a West Point graduate with an impeccable record, they could do it to anyone. Buffalo soldiers weren't just individual soldiers anymore. They had become symbols of Black pride and possibility. When they rode into a town, Black folks saw what they could become: disciplined, respected, armed, and unafraid. And white racists saw their worst nightmare: Black men with power who couldn't be lynched or intimidated. There are records of Black communities writing to the War Department, begging for Buffalo soldiers to be stationed nearby, because they knew these men would protect them when no one else would. But the military had other plans for these soldiers, plans that would test their moral compass. The same government that betrayed Buffalo soldiers at home sent them to enforce American imperialism abroad. In the Philippines, they fought to suppress Filipino independence fighters. Against native tribes, they enforced the government's westward expansion that displaced indigenous peoples from their ancestral lands. Buffalo soldiers found themselves in the impossible position of oppressing other oppressed peoples. It's a harsh reality of how systems of power work. They'll use one marginalized group to control another. These men, who knew oppression intimately, were being used as tools of someone else's oppression. But here's what...
Think about how crazy it is. And that's a fucked up spot to be in. And I know I felt that same way when I had to go to Afghanistan and Iraq. Like, y'all want me to go over here and fuck these people up, but I'm like, first off, these people didn't even do that. So why we fucking with them? But these motherfuckers, they sent them. They sent them to the Philippines to do to the Filipinos what the fuck was done to them. Well, at least probably what was done to the Native Americans, because they didn't just come in and just kill Black people. They put us to work. It's like they too valuable to kill, motherfucker. We gonna kill some of them, but we gonna keep majority of them because they good for profit. But to send somebody that had to go, comes from that history over and make them do it against another group of people, that's crazy, bro. And you need to understand who the fuck is the people we talking about that did it. Because who's in power in the United States right now? But we talking about Black on Black crime. That's crazy.
It's remarkable. Some Buffalo soldiers recognized this contradiction. In the Philippines, more Black soldiers deserted to join Filipino rebels than from any other American units. They understood oppression when they saw it, because all lived it every day. Even when used as...
Hey, check this, y'all. We got our deserters, too. We got our deserters, but we deserted to help defend people that we were oppressing. These other motherfuckers just dipped because they were scared. That shit's crazy.
Tools of empire. Some chose resistance over complicity. Despite the betrayals, the contradictions, and the systematic racism, Buffalo soldiers carved out space for Black excellence inside a system designed to destroy them. Every promotion, every medal, every act of courage was a crack in the wall of white supremacy. They proved that excellence could be a form of resistance. They showed that dignity couldn't be taken away, only given up. They demonstrated that armed, disciplined Black men were not a threat to democracy, not were democracy's greatest defenders. These men didn't just wear the uniform. They redefined what it meant to be an American soldier. They served a country that hated them and fought enemies foreign and domestic, including the racism within their own ranks. Their legacy became proof that Black Americans could serve with distinction while fighting the very system that oppressed them. The Buffalo Soldiers fought every enemy America sent them against, and the enemy America refused to admit existed: racism itself. They scared racist America because they showed what Black people could accomplish when given half a chance. Armed, disciplined, unbreakable, and proud. Their service laid the groundwork for military integration, civil rights progress, and every Black person who would wear the uniform after them. They proved that Black excellence couldn't be denied, no matter how hard white supremacy tried to suppress it. So the next time someone tries to tell you that Black people didn't contribute to American history, remind them about the Buffalo Soldiers, men who turned oppression into opportunity, uniforms into weapons of resistance, and fear into respect. They were badass Black soldiers who terrified white America by refusing to be anything less than excellent. And in doing so, they changed what it meant to be both Black and American forever.
I want everybody in the back that didn't hear it to make sure they go back and rewatch it so y'all can hear about your past, because a lot of folks don't know. Like, if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you can go. And everything is a leaping board. Like, you leapfrog from a lot of things. You go from elementary, it's like, okay, I finished elementary, so I should be able to finish middle school. I finished middle school, so I should be able to finish high school. I finished high school, so I should be able to finish college. I should be able to just keep leapfrogging these things. But if you don't even know that your people even could finish elementary school, where the fuck you gonna go? Now, I understand there are people out here that can get through it even in spite of, but I'm like, motherfucker, y'all, like, it's been a concerted effort to make sure that Black people don't know their history. And it's for a reason. Half of the shit that we doing right now don't even fucking, like, it don't even register what our ancestors did. Because they did a lot of great things. A lot of great things. Language, society, a lot of different things. Like, bitch, we unbuilt so much shit. We taught people how to wash their ass. Like, y'all don't know what the fuck we done did. And you don't know how far you can go, because, look, it's a concerted effort out here, man. If you know your past, you know where you come from to a certain extent. You can try to push to achieve it, because at least you got a goal. I can reach that. At least let me reach that. That's how evolution happens, and that's how advancements in society works. One motherfucker built the first phone, and now we got smartphones. Now we got folding phones. Because everybody's trying to push the limit. You know what you had before, you can do something better. And I want a lot of my folks to goddamn wake up and understand, like, bitch, your folks done came from something, bro. Everybody wasn't no goddamn rapper, basketball player, or actor. We did a lot. Like, look, every time you stop at a goddamn light, you need to thank a Black person for that. Every time you put up a home security system in your house, you need to thank a Black person for that. Every time you make a PB&J, motherfucker, you need to thank a Black person for that. But a lot of Black people don't know that. And a lot of white folks don't know it either, because it's been hidden. It's been hidden. So we gonna pull that, we gotta pull that curtain back, pull that glove off. GPS, even better. That's another one. I forgot. I ain't even saying GPS. Man, look, in the sad part, we can sit here for hours and talk about Black inventions and Black things that Black people did to benefit society as a whole that they don't want to tell nobody about. But I ain't got time for it tonight. I ain't gonna hold y'all. But Mr. Alexis, give me your final thoughts on what we heard about the Buffalo Soldiers.
Oh, well, I mean, Kansas City has.
Matter of fact, my bad. Just give me your final thoughts. Yeah, for the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Kansas City is a very historically Black place, and very big on Black history, and I'm so appreciative that, you know, not only that's where my dad is from, but that I had the opportunity to grow up in that environment and really get that pride of understanding the greatness of Black. You know what I'm saying? Just to put it out there. So Buffalo Soldiers, you know, I knew about the Buffalo Soldiers. You know what I'm saying? I'm very well-rounded in our history, and I love it. And knowing my history is what keeps me to where even when I interact with people of other races, I know how to show some type of decorum as far as understanding where we came from and having a moral compass of like at least saying, yo, that's not right, yo. And it's not right because I know what happened to us. So here's my thermometer. And but at the same time, it also keeps me in a point to where it's like, I don't trust y'all saltines. I don't. And yeah, Malcolm X. Those are my thoughts.
I appreciate that shit. Fucking look, y'all, tonight I just wanted to point out a few things, man. I hope it made you think a little bit. I don't care what race you is. I hope it made you think a little bit about how certain situations are handled. We had the Tariq Rasheed against Jessie Peterson conversation, and then we transitioned how they try to press up on DL Hughley, which I still don't understand that shit. And then fucking, yeah, I really don't get that. That was a little weird. It's like, y'all asking him. Actually, somebody needs to ask John. John, please speak on this shit. Like, goddamn, nobody need no Ja Rule, nigga. Fucking
hold on. Case in point, it was weird because they are inherently weird. Okay, go ahead.
I ain't gonna hold you on that shit. And then we transitioned to the great brother Malcolm X, who probably had the right mindset compared to one of our other brothers. But our other brother did great things too, so I ain't gonna knock that. But when Malcolm had to sit there and defend this shit, like, you talk about us, like, bitch, we ain't did nothing. But you asking us about our violence, but we ain't did nothing. While you are repping for the side that does a lot of violence. It's like, okay, let's talk about that. We talk about black on black crime, but we don't want to talk about these goddamn school shootings, huh? That's what type of time we on. And then we transition over, y'all, to the final video. Y'all got some history, man. For y'all that didn't know, I hope you know now. Like, you come from something. You can be something. And honestly, we got to do it together. But man, look, I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight, man. Like, real shit. It was one of them kind of like, I just want to get some off my chest ass videos, live streams and shit. And I think I got a little bit off. But man, make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, turn notifications on, all that in the bag of chips, whether you're watching over on the JVJ Network on YouTube, Let's Talk with JVJ on YouTube, or Let's Talk with JVJ over on Facebook, man. Make sure y'all support over here. We trying to grow, and we trying to make dreams happen. We trying to make dreams come true around this bitch. But man, look, I appreciate y'all. Y'all all have a good Saturday night. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. No butt stuff. And we'll catch y'all in the next one as always, man.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.